This is verse 24 of the 25th chapter, Gospel of Matthew. We've reached the third of these servants of the master of the household who received 1 talent. The master seems to have had an instinct that maybe the giftedness of this individual was limited, but nevertheless entrusted him with 1 talent, and now we have the report at the moment of accounting, and so the servant comes. We have proseothon, came to. This is the aorist participle, same as in the other accounts of the other servants, postpositive da, kai, and came to, the ho to hin, the 1 talanton, the 1 talent having received. This a lambphos, somewhat unusual. It's a perfect active participle from lambano. The perfect here saying that he had received the talent and continued to have it. A little bit of emphasis on that, and maybe very subtly suggesting that's all he had. He'd certainly kept that talent safely hidden, but hadn't put it to work. So this one now comes, apen and said, third person singular aorist, Kyrie, vocative, Lord, egnon. This is from gnosko. It's the first person singular, aorist active indicative. I knew, se, I knew you. Interesting way to put it. He starts off by saying not simply I knew about you or I knew what you do, but I knew you. And that, hoti skleros. Of course, this is the word that means hard. I knew that hard, a second person singular, that hard you are, anthropos, a hard man. So I knew you to be a hard man. Theridzone. Theridzone is reaping. This is from theridzo, to reap. It's a present participle. You reap, gather, hupo, where. Uk, negation, espeiros, from speiro, to sow. Negated here, so you reap where you didn't sow. Not a compliment necessarily. A man who gathers from the efforts of others would be the implication of this. Kai, connective. Sunagon, again a present participle. Sunago means to gather together, to reap, to gather in. Hothen, similar conjunction where. U, diascorpisos. This is from diascorpidzo. The dia, meaning through. The scorpidzo is actually related to the word for scorpion, which has to do with penetrating. That's not necessarily an interpretive notion here, but it means where you didn't sow in the sense that the seed penetrates the ground, that idea. But nevertheless, the main point here is that you're gathering where you didn't sow. And so really the servant is really implying some rather negative things about the one that is his master. He holds him in somewhat of almost contempt, a kind of grudging admiration. This man is a hard businessman who makes hard bargains and winds up gathering on the basis of labor that he didn't invest. And in some ways, this is a bit of a punitive response, you might say, from the servant to pass those judgments against his master. And of course, the response the master is going to get will be certainly in kind and even worse, as the master is going to assess the laziness of this servant and the failure for him to engage in some kind of meaningful labor, even though the talent had been entrusted to him, giving the opportunity to do so.